All right. So we're just getting ready to get started. Welcome, everyone, all of you that are in the room. Dawn is with me. We are excited to get started. And we'll give it another minute or so. And
Is
then we'll get
everyone in the
going.
room?
Give it another minute to see. We have 11 people in the room. I know we had about a lot.
Lots. We have lots.
We've got lots of folks joining us, and we're really excited to share um, Dawn and her expertise and the Amsler grid. So give it just another minute. We've got 12. I'm going to wait till it gets up to maybe the 20 range, Dawn, and then we'll go from there.
Okay,
Hope everyone's doing.
we don't have to count.
Hope everyone's doing. Who's counting? Hope everyone's doing well. And again, we're very excited to share. All right. So good morning. Hello, everybody. I am David Wolf. I'm the founder of Audavita and Audavita Gives. And I'm really excited to have you all joining us today. This is a very important live session. And it's entitled, as you know, How to Use the Amsler Grid and Understand Age-Related Macular Degeneration, otherwise known per Dawn as AMD. Much easier to say, right, Dawn?
And I didn't invent AMD. I invented
and MACD is the thing you invented. That's the genius of Dawn, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. Macular degeneration can be a mouthful to say, as I've learned from being around Dawn and the Support Site Foundation and the work we've done at Audavita for her and her team. But first, for context, I want to let everyone know what this is all about. Alfie, what are we doing here today? First of all, Audavita Gives is a platform that my team and I created to really provide powerful impact to people's lives in the world. And this is our inaugural session webcast with the model. And so we're really happy to have you joining us for this very first one. And I'm very excited, as I've said a few times since we started, to be sharing the power and impact of the Amsler grid and the work we're going to be doing today. And with that, I want to introduce Dawn Prahl. She's the founder, executive director of the Support Site Foundation. She's the creator and co-creator of My MACD Life, which is an award-winning podcast. Dawn, I'm going to talk to you. I'll talk about you in the third person. I know you dearly. We've been working together for a long time, but to share with our participants today, you are a top-notch healthcare and nonprofit management executive with an outstanding record of fundraising, collaboration, patient and caregiver advocacy. And at the core of your career is this nature. And I know this about you. You are a very compassionate and empathic professional. Your accomplishments in terms of like the spectrum of artistic to business to leadership to fundraising, and you have this sort of contagious way about you that I think impacts the work you do within the community of those, the low vision community and everything you're doing for macular degeneration over more than 15 years now, if I understand it right. You are a nationally recognized patient and caregiver advocate in MACD. And again, 15 years with a reputation. You've worked with ophthalmologists, vision research, low vision within the low vision industry. And you're a real champion for people who are impacted by this disease. So for those of you in the audience, we are really, really lucky to have Dawn presenting for us today and talking about the Amsler grid. You've had numerous executive leader positions within the Macular Vision Research Foundation, Wesley Enhanced Living. You've worked with Einstein Jefferson Healthcare System and Atlanta Care Health System and the Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, their national office. And of course, you have an MBA. And I know from working with you on business matters, you're an economist. You've got an MBA, and so that brings to the table a context of business in the context of a disease that is impacting a lot of people, and what can we do about it to change their lives. So I know this is your MO, this is who you are, long commitment, and you're a force of nature. So Dawn, welcome, and thank you for being with us to share your knowledge capital. In the next half hour or so, we're going to be exploring and learning tips about how to use the Amsler grid, what it is and how to use it. And connected to all of this is an understanding of this eye disease, AMD, macular degeneration. And as I know from Dawn, from working with her over the years, this baseline knowledge is really crucial for both patients to understand about their own bodies and for the caregivers that help them. So, Dawn, tossing it to you, and tell us about this disease and what do we need to know?
Well, first of all, welcome everyone on behalf of the Support Site Foundation, the team, the researchers, all the hard work we do, everybody around us who gets that job done, and also to our incredible special Audi Vita team. Without this group of people, David, Erica, Sean, Hetty, everybody. I'm not going to name everybody. I feel like I'm getting them, whatever.
She'll tear up. Yes.
Yeah. But the clipped, right? But I want to thank you for choosing us and working with us, collaborating with us to be the inaugural Audi Vita Gives, and you're the recipient basically and partner of your generosity and philanthropy, and really making the world a better place. Because I know in our relationship, we'll talk about it a little later as it evolved with the podcast, My MACD Life and everything, that when we first met, you didn't know anything about MACD. So
Nada,
you know a lot
really.
now. And yeah.
Yes.
And also thank you. You make my MO like big M and big O, I guess. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
So yeah, so let's get started. Macular degeneration. AMD, we're going to cut it off because it's a mouthful, as David said, not cut it off, but abbreviate it.
Right.
AMD, or MACD, as we like to call it. And basically, in a nutshell, it is a disease, a retina disease. It is the most prevalent, the fastest growing, if you want to call it growing, okay, eye disease that robs people of their central vision. It's a retina disease. The retina is your camera. The retina is connected to your optic nerve. If you don't already know this, for those of you who are with us, and thank you again, for caregivers, for patients, for people who just want to know more, whatever reason you're here, we're glad you are here with us. We're glad you are, because it is a chronic disease. There's not a cure for it. We'll talk about the research just a little bit, but that's a topic for another one of these series, right, David?
Absolutely.
Right. But the bottom line is that you do lose your vision, your precious vision, and that's something that we can all relate to. And it doesn't discriminate the disease itself, ethnicity, race, gender, economically. It is, and it starts to happen at age 50. So the other thing that I think is really critical to understand is its gradual progression. Okay. It's gradual, folks. So, and it's, and, David, you interrupt me here, because when I get on a roll with MACD, I might just.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're so deep and close to it. So,
Right.
so if we began to slowly, and this is part of what we're going to explore today, but it would be something that's like a slow boiling frog, right? We're going to very slowly recognize a change in our vision. What can we expect that to look like? Is there a way to describe what that looks like?
Well, I'll tell you what, perfect question. And by the way, we didn't tee that up exactly. That's the Amsler grid. That's why we're here today. The Amsler grid is the one and only most reliable. There's all benefits to it. I'll talk about it in a minute. But when you or someone you love, by the way, detect that, or if it's in your family, because macular degeneration is genetic, you're 3 times more likely to have or to get macular degeneration at some point in your life if either one of your parents were diagnosed with it. It's not entirely genetic. There are also environmental factors, and go on our website, www.supportsite.org. We have all this information there, but I'm trying to condense it down into little snippets. For those of you who um, understand it better or are fearful that you may have it, and it is scary. It's a scary disease because you gradually lose your central vision. You do not go completely blind from it, but you
Hmm.
lose your central vision and you lose your independence. You lose your
Hmm.
capacity to do the everyday things in life. So the Amsler grid is we want the goal of today is we want that to become part of your daily life, part of your routine. And does that help?
Yeah, it does. And so, yeah, this tool that we're going to explore now it's you call it a routine. So it's a way to check. Is that it?
Yeah.
Ongoing way to monitor and check the
Yes.
progression of the disease. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of like, well, I liken it to like, your blood pressure cuff or other ways that you monitor your self monitor your own health status. This is the Amsler grid is the only way. It's tried and true, reliable. It doesn't really cost anything. It's low tech. I mean, I'll get into it a little bit more
Yeah,
efficiently,
yeah. Dawn
but
is, yeah, I was going to ask, is this a good time for us to bring it up and show folks
yeah,
what it looks
let's
like?
do that.
Exactly.
Can
So,
we cue
so
that
Sean,
up?
if you would show that slide, if possible.
Oops, wrong
Here it
button.
is. All right.
Okay. Hopefully, our audience, folks out there, and a lot of people whom I may know you or we may not have met. The part about this digital stuff is I can't see you, and it drives me crazy to not be with you, but I know you're there, so I'm going to act as if I know you're there. So this is the Amsler grid. And so for those of you, depending on where you're at in your living your life with your macular degeneration, you may or may not be able to see this, or you're going to see it differently. Remember, the one important thing as I start to go through the steps in using the Amsler grid
Mm-hmm.
is that everyone is different, and with their low vision struggle, their status, if you were recently diagnosed with macular degeneration, if and we're going to pop up a poll here in a second, but this is this is basic, and you do not see with your eyes, you see with your brain. So this Amsler grid is going to may or may not look different on a regular basis when you use it.
Hmm.
But this is the gist of it. Okay.
Okay. And so, in other words, the way it presents to you visually may change over time,
It
which is
absolutely changes with
which is the
time.
indicator that you have the disease. Is that, am I
Right.
retracking
Well,
right?
or that it's
Okay.
progressing.
And that's progressing. So that's how you monitor it. Okay.
So
Excellent.
note at the very bottom for folks, I'm just going to read this out loud. And a lot of folks may be familiar with this, but I have, throughout my 15-year, decades long career in this business, people constantly say to me when I talk about this, why didn't anybody tell me about this? Why didn't the eye care professionals that I'm with emphasize this? Why?
Right.
Why? And I don't know the answer to that, but that's why you're here, because now you know from us that how important this is and how regular this needs to become. So
Beautiful.
keep in mind that if at any area of the Amsler grid looks distorted, which it may look like that to you right now, if you can see the slide here in the
Hmm.
webcast, if any area of the grid looks distorted, blurred, or discolored, contact your eye doctor immediately. And I can't stress that enough. We're going to walk through the exercise and how you use it, but I want to emphasize that from the very beginning.
Okay. Perfect. Distortion would be like the lines are not exactly in a grid,
We'll talk
Dawn.
about that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You want to dive into the steps, or do we have some
Sure. We
to
can
ask
absolutely
people?
do that.
How about we ask people some questions
Yeah, let's do that.
before I get started? That helps me know where people are in their most of our audience are, right, or are with us today.
All right. So we have, there's the question.
Are you a care? We'll read it out loud, David. That might
Yeah, I
help.
can go ahead and do that. So the
Go ahead.
first question we have for you, participants in our audience, please, we'd love you to answer and respond. Are you a caregiver? So are you caring for someone that has an AMD or
This
MACD?
is or something. This is fun. Look at it, David. It's adding it up. I love
Yeah,
technology.
we can actually see the results in real time. I think that's visible to us as the hosts of
Yeah,
this of our
I
webcast.
love it. I love it. It's so
So
cool.
wow.
It's very cool.
And thank you, Sean, for setting this up for us. So um yeah.
Okay, so the people who answered, what does it say, David?
So
Majority of
one out
people
of
are
so
not
third
caregivers.
so yeah, right. 13, well, I'll go the other way.
We just we don't need to
13% of
give
us,
numbers. We just need to
yeah,
look.
13% of our participants are caregivers. They're
Okay,
taking care of someone who has MACD, and 88%, the remainder,
not
are not a caregiver,
okay.
which
That are
so
with us today. Okay, so we can stop sharing that. I
yep.
don't know who does that. Okay, good.
I've got a button here I just hit.
Oh, you're driving. Okay,
It
cool.
looks like I am. Let's see. So there are stop sharing. Okay. There we go. All right. I'll make it go away. All right. So back to you, Dawn.
I can still see it. Do I need to? Oh, there.
I think you can just, yeah,
Okay, now
exit it out.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Also bear with us.
that's all good.
We're learning. Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the majority of people, am I right about this, David? The majority of the results of that poll, or majority of people who are with us today, are patients,
It sounds like it.
not caregivers. Okay.
Right.
Um, both is important. So the if you for the caregivers in the audience who responded yes to that question, it's still very important that, and if those of you who are patients who actually are what we mean by that is diagnosed with macular degeneration, and we're going to
Mhm.
ask that question in a second. um it's just as important for you to please communicate or this Amsler grid to the people who help you in your life, who are there for you. Okay, so for patients, let's go back to the Amsler grid. So, but can we ask how many people? Let's ask another question real quick. I know I'm kind of being a nerd about this. Please bear with me.
Yeah. That's what we love about you. Yeah.
I know I'm nerdy. I'm nerdy about MACD, right? Do we have a question we can ask people about if they have MACD and
Right. And what kind and all of that.
yeah.
Sean, I think you got that ready. There it is. All right.
Ooh, what's
So we've
that?
got a live poll. I'll read it out loud. Do you have AMD or MACD? And so
Look at me.
there are different versions of MACD or different types. We have wet, we have dry. You
Very
might
good,
have
David.
both. You haven't been diagnosed yet, or you're not sure. You might have it or suspect you might have it. You're over
It's
50, that you're in the zone, and it could be a thing. So
Look at
as soon
you
as
go. You know a lot about this. I didn't even cover the wet and
well,
dry.
I'm learned from the experts.
Okay, let's
Yours
see.
truly. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
just kind of looking at these results. No one has responded yes to wet. We have 25% of our participants
Okay,
have dry. None of them have both based on this poll we've taken.
okay,
And
okay.
63 no, have not been diagnosed yet. So, in fact, it sounds like even though we have participants here that are not caregivers, many of them don't have or have not been diagnosed yet, but they want to know and understand the disease. So that's huge. And then
Gotcha,
13% are not sure. So
gotcha. Okay, so now I know the group here. This is great. This
it's
profile
really
is
helpful
really
for you
important.
because you can address us. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
not being diagnosed yet. Okay, so here's what we're going to say to that. So, with the EMSA grid, you still need to understand it. I've got my handy one here. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to walk folks through it because whether you have wet MACD, dry MACD, you have wet or dry, in both eyes, it's bilateral. Why is this not stop sharing for me? I don't know.
Yeah, same. I'm
There
having
we
the
go.
same.
I got it. So here's the thing. Let's start with this. The Amsler grid it can be on a piece of paper. Okay, we'll talk about
Okay.
it. Download it on our website is at the end as in terms of resources downloadable.
Brilliant.
You may have received one from your eye doctor or not. And again, I don't never try to tell people how to feel, but try not to get irritated at them if they didn't give you one. And if they did give you one, that's wonderful, but you need many of them. They are cost effective. They can be on a piece of paper, or some are on refrigerator magnets. The point is, it needs to be on white background because contrast is important. So it's white background. And as folks we showed earlier, the lines, the grid is black, and contrast is important, with a black dot in the center. So it's like graph paper. David, I know you like to write on that, don't you?
Yes.
So what you do is this, folks, and I'm going to demonstrate it. So here's our strong recommendation. The way it's cost effective, I just explained, it's portable. So there's no excuse for, just like exercise, right? There's no excuse for not using it daily or regularly. Okay. There's no
Wow.
reason not to. It's
Yeah.
portable. Okay. So, and it's cost effective, it's portable, it's easy to access. We're going to give you those tools there. You can get them from us. It's also recyclable. You can share them. You can find one from a friend. You could give one to a neighbor. So that part is easy. And it's also low tech. So you don't need, this world is so full of, just like this Zoom, right? This webcast, so full of technology. And hopefully, this was easy for you to access. And we want your feedback to make it easier if it wasn't. But, or the podcast, for example, My Megdi Life. But this is low tech. It's a piece of paper. Okay. Now, it's also self-guided. So you want to summarize what I've said so far? Cost effective, replicable, accessible and shareable, recyclable, low tech, okay, and convenient.
Yep.
Okay. Now, so here's what we recommend. In the morning is the best time to do this. I know your mornings, whether you're a morning person or you're not, let's call it when you wake up, whether it's 5:30 in the morning Eastern time or 10 o'clock Mountain time. It doesn't matter. But when you wake up, part of your morning routine, and we all love our routines, don't we? Right? That's how we stay.
Oh, absolutely.
That's how we stay healthy. That's how we do our thing when we take our pills and we do,
Yeah. It creates order for us, doesn't it,
order.
Dawn?
Thank
Yeah.
you. Very good. Thanks for that word. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it only takes a minute or two.
Wow.
So it doesn't, you don't have to really invest a whole lot for the outcome. The outcome, the return on investment is huge.
Okay.
And it's directed. So in your morning routine, wait until your brain is engaged, people. Like, it's not one of those things that immediately when you get up in the morning that we recommend that you do. Do your thing, do your routine, have your coffee, have your tea. Okay, maybe go for your quick walk, whatever it is in the first half hour or so is what I usually recommend. First hour, let you wake up. And if you didn't sleep well the night before, and we all know it, every day is different. And we're all grateful that we can put both feet on the floor when we wake up, right? Right. Wake up, right? We're grateful for that.
Gratitude.
But half an hour or so, get situated. I tell people, with your coffee and your juice, maybe your egg or your granola or your yogurt, whatever you're eating, the iHealthy diet, right? Sit down in a place where there is lots of natural light.
Okay.
Now, for those of you who have macular degeneration, depending on where you're at in the stages, the beginning, the intermediate, the advanced, glare might be an issue, right? Natural light might be an issue, but you've got to have enough light to do the Amsler grid. Okay. So whatever that means for you. And I always highly recommend you do it in the same place every day. So
Okay.
say you go to Florida or you go on vacation to Cape or you go to the Rocky Mountains or wherever you go to enjoy life and relax or whatever, whenever you're not in your own home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can bring it with you because we said it was portable, so you should have several of them. And just find that place where you can take a minute or two where there's natural light. So what you do is you do now. Do I need to slow down and recap? Or are we doing good on time? Or
I think we're okay, Dawn. I did have a question about you suggested natural light when possible. How important is that, like versus the light in your kitchen, for example? Or, I mean, is that a
yeah,
huge factor here? What's your sense about that?
that's a really good question, and I can probably anticipate that others who are with us today in the audience are probably
Mm-hmm.
same
Mm-hmm.
question. So thanks for kind of lobbing that out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Um, don't do it in the dark.
Right. All right. So you need to have light, consistent light.
Yeah,
It should be washing on the grid, same
yeah, at
place.
least right. You got to
Try
be
to
like
be consistent about the amount of
right,
light and where
right.
you are.
Because light does
Yeah.
vary, and you see with your brain, not your eyes.
All right.
So, like I said, if you had a rough night the night before, you're not feeling good, maybe you have a cold or something that day, or sinuses or something, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
affect you just like everything else. But okay, a good question.
The other
So
question I had, I'm sorry, I do have one more just for our audience's benefit. So it's a daily routine.
I
So
recommend daily.
rather than I would think, oh, well, weekly because it's slow progressing. So I'm just curious about that.
Okay,
Unpacking that a little bit.
I'm going to comment on that.
Yeah.
Our strong recommendation is daily, and you know why? Because when we do something every day, we do it. We stay
Oh,
committed
okay.
to it.
Okay.
And it's not because we want you to worry about it and fret,
All right.
but it is daily means that you've integrated it into your routine. Daily means that it just becomes who you are, because guess what? Macular degeneration is, and people out there know, 365 24/7. That don't go away. MACD does not go away. It doesn't falter. It doesn't say, oh, I'll see you later. It's there. You live there.
Okay. Okay.
So daily is important.
Okay.
Okay. Now, cut yourself some slack. You don't do it. And if you do it later in the day, but the point is do it. Try to do, because it takes a minute or two. Okay, good question. So let's go back to this perfect scenario, and then everyone will modify their own routine as need be. And we're always available, by the way, to run it by us. You can run your routine by me, or let us know what works for you, what you did, if it's what you're
Yeah.
doing is tried and true, or if you're saying, holy crap, I never do it that often. I did it once. Then I'm telling you, you need to start doing it. It's kind of
Yeah.
an exercise. You cannot get on the treadmill once a month or one time
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
says you want to improve your cardio,
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I had to get bumped.
No, it's just like it's a progression, and therefore you need to take samples often in order
Right,
to
because
monitor the trend.
the
Right.
idea is, keep in mind that what we read when we flashed out. Thank you, Hetty and team behind the scenes. When we flashed up the Amsler grid,
Yeah.
the minute it changes, the minute you see it differently,
Hmm.
then you have to contact your eye doctor immediately. It is one of those things. And again, the Amsler grid is the only way to detect that. You're not going to feel dizzy. You're not going to have a fever. Your elbow's not going to hurt. It's going to show up on the Amsler grid. You're not going to have a stomach ache, right? You got me. It's showing up on the Amsler grid because that's your diagnostic. Okay. So so let's go back to the process. So you're all situated, got coffee, juice, you're awake, you're starting your day, the birds are singing, you're happy, you're in sunlight, you're in light, and you do one eye at a time. Where's my finger? My finger disappeared in our little graphic, didn't it?
So one eye at a time.
One eye at a time. Thank you, David. Demonstrate. So it does not matter which eye. Just do
Okay.
one eye at a time. And if you have macular degeneration in both eyes, I don't think people on or with us today had that.
No, and in
Just
fact, to that point,
delivery.
I just wanted, sorry to interrupt, but I just want you to know this will help you in terms of the presentation from one of our attendees. Many listeners are partners in care, not necessarily patients or caregivers. That came in on the Q&A panel. It happened to pop up, so I wanted to share that
Oh,
with you.
okay. So
So, you know,
spreading the
so
word,
a lot of these folks
learning,
are helping. Yes,
train the,
exactly.
how to train the trainer.
How to train a trainer, exactly.
Train the trainer. Oh, that's awesome. Because
Partners in
we
care.
can't be the only ones telling everybody the world. I mean, I love to tell the world from the mountaintops. And those of you
Right.
who know that I do that, but
Yes.
from the mountaintops. So we will have these steps outlined, and people will get these from our website, and it'll also be on a podcast. But
Brilliant.
we'll have these steps out in an outline. Okay. Hopefully that also, that's good to know.
Yeah,
Whoever
absolutely.
threw that in there.
Yeah, it was anonymous, but thank you for that. That helps us contextualize the presentation today for Dawn. So
Yes. So, but nonetheless, it's still just as important to understand what I'm saying, because you're also understanding what we're trying to communicate effectively, which is not just the disease, living with the disease, but also how to use this tool that everybody can afford.
yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
Dawn, so I just wanted to, the routine, I think there are 6 steps. Do I have that right?
Well,
Two.
5, 6. I mean, we have it boiled down to that, but let me go. Yeah. So
I
do one,
interrupted your flow, one eye at a time, and then you were going to jump from
one
there, I
eye at a
think.
time.
Yeah.
Now take deep breaths, folks. Tell the people that you are training and you're showing how to do this. Sit calmly. It's kind of like, this is the point where it's kind of like meditating, or when you're warming up for exercise. You have to warm up a little bit, kind of think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So sit calmly, take a few deep breaths. Now, you don't have to be, you're looking at the Amsler grid. So the Amsler grid is in front of you. You might be looking down at it with lots of light. You know, often I don't recommend that. Look at them. I'm holding mine up and it's matching that grid there. Isn't that funny? I don't recommend that people hold it in front of them by their hand, because if you have a tremor or you're shaky or our hands are in motion, our bodies are in motion all the time. So it's going to create vibration, whether you think you're steady or not. I always recommend putting it on a flat, stable surface like a table, or a lot of people will put it with a magnet on their refrigerator
Yep.
or somewhere in their office. Wherever you are, have it, stationary. Okay.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay. But if you
Yeah.
have to hold it in your hand, it's not the end of the world. But if I
Okay.
would recommend do it in the car.
Ideally, you want it not to be moving.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So then you do one at a time. And David, if you want to demo that, so let's start with whatever eye you want to. So do one
Okay.
eye.
I'll start with my left. Okay.
Close both eyes.
Okay.
Cover one eye.
Yeah.
All right. Have the Amsler grid in front of you. And we know you don't have one, but that's okay.
That's fine. It's
Now
in front of
open
me.
that eye and look at the Amsler grid and give your brain a few seconds to register it, to
Okay.
take in.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now close your both eyes again. Again, you don't want
Closing
to
both.
the other
Then I
eye.
cover.
You got it.
Okay.
No, I didn't know. You can rotate.
Not yet. Okay.
Sometimes people have to do it more than once, because you want to make sure, especially if you have the disease, that your brain is registering it the same. So if you're seeing wavy lines, if those straight lines are moving, if they're jumping off the page, it feels like,
Mm-hmm.
or if they're blurrier, you might want to just double check it a couple times in a row with that same eye.
Okay.
Okay. Then you do the same thing with this second eye, the follow eye. Okay.
Close
All
both.
right. Same thing. But I recommend closing your eyes in between, because you have to give your brain a chance to get rid of the image, the retina.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like an echo.
And
And those of us who, look at things, you close your eyes and then there's like an echo of it. Right. So you want to get rid of that.
So,
Yeah.
and your retina is your camera. And so when you have a retina disease,
Right.
and it's your central vision,
Yeah.
just close your eyes for, a few seconds. It doesn't have to take another break or breath or two. Breathe in,
Okay.
calm, and then do your other eye and test that. It is that simple. If you freak out because it's really different,
Yeah.
okay, all right, Here's what I recommend. And I'm using that word emphatically, freak out, or sometimes in our own heads, we create a lot, right? Oh my God,
Mm.
that looked different than it did yesterday. Try not to second guess yourself. That's why walk away from it, come back. Maybe you're not awake yet, and see if your brain is seeing the same thing, but test in the exact same position. That you have to keep that variable constant.
All right. You know what's fascinating about this too, Dawn? I mean, it's sort of true of a lot of diagnostic tools. Only you, as an individual, can objectively determine whether you're telling yourself a story, you're being biased by panic, or you sort of telegraph this. You
Right,
really
or
need
you're
to have
being
you have to have be
hypochondriac.
sort of kind of an even-tempered, objective view of what is really happening here, um,
Right,
and not allow your imagination to create things that don't
right.
exist, and all of these sorts of psychological or emotional components, because you're self-diagnosing in this instance. There's
Well,
no
you're
no no
self-guiding. You're self-guiding.
self-guiding. It's not a diagnosis. I misspoke, but you're self-guiding so that you have an indication about whether
Right,
there's a possibility you have this disease,
right.
but only you
Or
can do
it's
it. It
worsened.
can't be done by a third party. That was
Or
my
it's
my
worsened. It can be done
yeah.
by a third party because it's your brain, it's your retina, it's your
There you
eyes,
go.
it's your body, it's
That's
all
what
that
I'm thinking.
you all
It's a very
know.
solo gig. Yeah.
And also, here's the thing, folks, that I want to emphasize too. The answer grid is so significant in your life and so reliable. You are going to know if it's different, especially when you do it every day or regularly. You're going to know if it's different. You're going to know that it's just not a temporary thing because you have a cold or your sinuses or something.
All
You're
right.
going to know it's different. And it is the only way that your eye doctor, your retina doc, your ophthalmologist, anybody's going to know. And please do not wait in between annual exams.
Okay.
So, again, there's a level of fear here, folks. We're not stoking that, but I am telling you that the answer grid literally is the only way that you will know if you're going from dry macular degeneration to wet, because it's going to change that Amsler grid the way you
Hmm.
brain sees it. Or if you don't have, you're not sure if you have it, but you might have drusen. Again, this is a deep topic. The
Okay.
minute that's different, and let's say it's different for a couple of days in a row, just call your eye doctor. It can't hurt. It will only be good, because when you tell them you have tested through with the Amsler grid, they're going to get you in hopefully as soon as they can. It's getting
Amazing.
in front of it.
All right. So we're at
Yeah, how are we doing on
9:40.
time? Oh my
We're
gosh.
at 9:40. We're 40 after the hour, 41 to be exact.
Not bad.
I know that we wanted to, let's see, we've done the steps. We did
Another
want to give,
question? Do another question?
if we have, I don't see questions popping up. Let's see.
No.
Actually, there might be one. Let's see.
Or do we have another poll? Do we have another poll? I forgot.
Yeah, I think we do have another poll about the Amsler
Oh
itself,
yeah, we're
right?
going to ask people if they have one. That's right.
Okay, so here we go. Thank you, Sean.
Thanks,
Do
Sean.
you currently use an Amsler grid? So, oh my goodness.
Yay. 50-50.
So, yeah. So half of you are familiar with it, using it.
Oh,
That's
you're in the right
amazing.
place. No, you're in the right
Oh, here
place.
we go. No, no, here we have a no. It's still coming in. The answers are still coming in. So let's let it do its
Like a
thing.
horse race, everybody. It's like the Kentucky Derby.
I know, right? All right. So it feels like they're stabilizing at about 40, about 60-40.
Okay.
So 40% yes, they currently use an Amsler grid. Amazing. And no,
Good.
the other 60%. So most of the people that are here have not used one or are not using one currently. So there you go, Don.
Okay. Perfect.
Good stuff.
Perfect. That's great. So hopefully, what I always say, and again, for those of you who are new to Support Site Foundation, or new me and us to Macular Vision Research Foundation, that was our previous name.
Yeah,
The goal here is that you know more now than you did when you joined us,
absolutely.
before you registered, before you participated, that you know one or two things that you didn't know.
No, and we love that you did this today. Those of us at Audivita Gives, Dawn, if you could give us kind of a big picture. Let's zoom out a bit. Tell us a little bit about your foundation, if you don't mind, and
Okay,
and
do we have
and
Q&A?
and,
We have
and the
Q&A?
the role. Yeah.
We
So
do have Q&A now. Okay.
I don't. Yeah, we can do Q&A now. I don't
If
think we have
anybody
any
has
new
questions,
questions coming in, but if
okay.
we do, this is a good time to do it, and
And
we'll
they can
keep
keep
those.
coming in. I don't want to, I
Yeah,
know.
that we don't have to stop and do that. We can keep talking, and if you have a question, we'll grab it. They're popping up easily for us to answer either live or to type it if it's anything confidential. So, do you want to share
Yeah,
a little bit?
big
Yeah,
picture. Oh, thank you, David. Of course I do. Um, the Support Site Foundation, TSSF, affectionately known as, I got to say, we are a 501c3 registered public charity. We are disease specific. All we do is AMD, MACD, 24, 365, 24/7. That's all we do. We do not deviate from that. And our mission is solely focused. We're boutique. There are other organizations out there and my peers whom I love and think they're great, but they don't do what we do. We are very
yeah,
unique. And for a lot of people online with us now know that it's about relationships. We know you, we care about you, we want to hear from you. It's very intimate. So we are funding, the money that we raise is spent on education. Thank you, Audi Vita Gives, for supporting, for partnering with us, for collaborating with us and getting the word out, this outreach. And but
absolutely.
but it's spent on educating. When I started doing this, nobody even knew what the disease was. It was just what happened when you got old, believe it or
Right.
not.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, not when I started doing it, but pretty much
Yeah,
a
yeah,
long way, and that's a lot has to do with
yeah,
that, I
yeah.
have to say. So education, we also are advocates. This is advocacy right here. I love whomever chimed in and said we're, care partners. Hello, we support that. We have to educate the masses because one
Right.
in four people have macular degeneration over the age of 65, and it's not going away. When it goes away, I'm done with my work. And
And
then,
to that, I want to just, if I can interrupt, we have a question from Monica, and it's kind of a clinical question, and it may be something you want to take with her offline, but she asks, what is the treatment for macular degeneration?
thank you, Monica. And that's a really good question. Guess what? When I first started this 15 years ago, there were two treatments only for wet macular degeneration, only. That there, and for folks out there know, injection. It's all injection now, by the way.
Wow.
But for wet macular degeneration only, which is, there was nothing for dry. Okay, and dry is just as severe, so that's the misnomer. Let's do a whole series on the wet.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's another
So,
session, but
Monica, there are treatments out there. I'm happy to get with you offline. So there were two when I started. It was a repurposed drug, FDA drug, Avastin. People might be
mhm,
familiar with it. They might still be
mhm.
receiving it. And Lucentis, the pharmas have it. Lucentis, and Eylea. Now there are multiple wet and more powerful wet macular degeneration anti-VEGF drugs that spread you can spread out the treatment time, which is great because it's not easy to do. We know that. Okay. It's not easy for you. You got to get to the doctor. It's
Yep.
okay. Not, by the way, it's for improvement. Not, they don't all work, but they
Okay.
will improve. Now
Okay.
there are three drugs on the market, and we were instrumental for one of them coming to market a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it's all on our website, supportsite.org, and My MACD Life. There's an episode, Dr. Danny talks about Syfovre, and there are two others. I really shouldn't get into the brand names, but I did.
Yeah.
But um, we don't advocate for one
Yeah.
drug over the other because
You're
it's
agnostic across the
but
pharmaceutical branding
but
part of
we are
it.
here to answer
But
Monica's very
yeah,
astute question, and there will be a cure.
right
And
on. That's part of what your mission is. I
Monica,
know that. I know that. Listen, please continue if you have other questions relating to the subject matter today on the Amsler grid or anything related, and then Dawn can follow up with you if it's something we need to
absolutely.
unpack offline with longer than we can handle today. That's encouraging to know, and well, I love the work you're doing. And let's talk a little bit maybe about our partnership and about what we're doing here together, and
Well, give it 2
all of those
minutes.
things.
Tell you start by telling people how we met with my Mac.
So, about 5 years ago, it was definitely pre-COVID. So Audavita Studios and our team, we are a podcast and audiobook production company. So audiobooks
Wait
is
a minute,
interesting.
David. Audiobooks, David. This is why your audience. This is your audience. We
So
love
so on the consumer side of our business, it's fascinating and very important because a lot of people that are no longer able to read well or at all can listen to any literature they need using
low
audiobooks.
vision.
So
People with low vision.
people with low vision. So we participate in that market. We produce the books for the authors and publishers that put that content out for you to enjoy. And if you are a patient and have low vision and can't read anymore, this is an amazing alternative, as is true for the podcast that we produced as in partnership with the Support Site Foundation and Dawn, as we co-created My MACD Life, which, by the way, is an award-winning podcast that really unpacked a lot of the issues, a lot of the expertise, a lot of the medical information, really clearing the fog on a lot of questions people have about the disease. And wow, how many episodes did we do?
All the time. It's evergreen, so you can listen all the time.
It's evergreen, and sorry, I walked right over you with my question. How many episodes did we do? Do you recall?
A lot, and we're doing
a lot, maybe 15 or 30 or something crazy like that. And you can find them all.
Money. It's all about
you can
fun.
find them all wherever you get your podcast, or you can go to the support site foundation.org or mymacdlife. That's a .org as well, isn't it? Yeah. So we have
evolved.
So we have a working relationship that's been going on for many years. And then, your work in the field, I talked about a lot of this when I introduced you. Anything else you want folks to know?
And you came up with that Audavita Gives as an offshoot.
I did. As a company that produces content in the world, we have a business, but we also want to give back and we want to make the world a better place. So this Audavita Gives initiative is all about impact on humanity. And it's funny because I'm not someone that was born with the notion that I should be doing so-called philanthropic types of activities. And it's part of what I've learned from working with Dawn and just being on the planet. My wife works for a nonprofit as well. And so I've been around this stuff quite a bit. And it's starting to, by osmosis, I'm starting to realize that a part of any business or any enterprise that you're working on needs to have a component where you are doing this. It's a part of your business plan, so to speak. So as an entrepreneur, that's the part of what I think about now and part of what we're moving our organization to participate in. So there it is.
Well, on behalf of the organization and all the others who will hear this and are with us today, thank you for your generosity and also for your understanding that in the end of the day, that's what that's all about. So
right.
We're glad that we inspired you.
Absolutely. It's all about impact. So if there are any other questions, please continue. Yeah.
I'd have to show at the end to keep with timing here.
Yeah. All right. We're about 10 minutes of the hour. I don't see any more questions coming in. So we'll be following up to those of you who have participated, those of you that registered and may not have been able to make it today. There will be the
slide deck.
Oh, we do have a slide deck to go to. So let's do that. Sean, you want to drive this? Thank you for reminding me. Yeah.
We have disclaimers there. We got to do the housekeeping.
All right. So next slide. Yes.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. This is the close here, right? And
that's right.
David, I guess I'm going to just put my pitch in. Thank you. We're grateful for you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your feedback. We have a very quick 4-question survey that's going to be in your inbox shortly. And we really, really want you to answer it. And check your spam, as we all know that's annoying.
Yep. And then we want you to share your, use the power of your voice to talk it up and share what you've learned today. Spread the word so more people who may be impacted by this disease understand how to monitor its progress if needed. So,
and also for those people who are care partners, this is really what you're doing.
Spreading the word and educating. That's right. And
And really-
finally, we want to ask if you can, we would really be grateful if you could give. Of course, donations are tax deductible and critical to the work that the Support Site Foundation is doing and the impact that they're bringing to the world. So for more on that, you can donate at supportsite.org. It's right there on the screen, /impact.
And by the way, David, my team just reminded me that for anyone who gives a gift, a tax deductible gift of $20 or more, we're going to send you an Amsler grid with a lined notepad on the other side of it. And it's hard. It's this one. We're going to send it to you for a donation of $20 or more.
Fantastic. $20 or more will get you an Amsler grid for yourself. You can use it daily with the 6 steps
on
that
the other side. Yep.
Yep. And you've got a notepad as well. So it's multifunctional. Thanks, everybody. Dawn, any final words?
I don't have, believe it or not,
You don't have any final words? Oh my God, she's such a brilliant. Thanks for doing this, Dawn, and for serving our audience and your own audience as well. And we look forward to the next session.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, team.
Be well. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.